So in this video, we'll look at some of the features that you'll see as a teacher and some of the tools that are in the teacher view that you'll want to use as you kind of customize and set up how you want the class to look and interact, and show you a couple of the features that students will have access to as well. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. I'm going to click on my high school civics and government class. Then I'm going to go over to my course setup. Okay, now that I'm inside of course setup, what I want to do is go ahead and go to this hyperlink right here that says open the course editor in a new tab. See Fairfield City School District, and now I am in the course editor for my high school civics and government course. So you can see, just as a review, here are the right arrows or the chevrons with the lessons. You can see here that you can add an activity. You can make it visible to the student or not visible to the student. You can edit the name. You can edit in there. And then this is the one that I always typically forget about. Like, I want to see what these lessons look like, so I click on them to see them. But what you want to do is on these three dots, I want to click preview. And then you can see, for example, here is lessons on the census. It's a read it, and it takes you into the actual lesson. So while we're here, I just want to make sure I explain this feature. So you've got this compass rose or directional sign. You open it with that left arrow. So if I select this button and click anywhere on the text, it turns red.
You will evaluate the necessity of the census and the acts.
You most likely don't hear that, but it is reading it aloud to me. One of the things that I don't think was addressed, you can see here, you can press play again, you can pause, you can stop the speech playback. These three icons are dependent upon other embedded activities within the lesson. But one of the things I don't think was pointed out earlier is if you change the settings, so the speed of reading can be adjusted. Medium, fast, to those three levels. You can obviously see the different speech mode, text highlighting colors, save, cancel, and then you can see. Now, one thing that I don't know if you could hear that, but I hadn't stopped the text reading, so it was actually reading those settings to me aloud as well. So there is some customization, and if you want to close that back down, you click on that toolbar. So just remember, that's those icons and those symbols within here. But I wanted to kind of go across this top. So obviously we're in syllabus. There are weights that can be adjusted based on what protocols are for you or the district. You can see there's a list of activities, which it searches for the course, pulls out activities, and you can look at those. There is an element of scheduling, which really these are start and end dates, and most courses are going to be traditional continuous courses. But one thing that's important is this group settings. So one of the things that you can see here is that I have not set up any group settings, but if I had set them up in advance, they would appear here. So let's just finish with these icons. So tools up here at the top, the first icon. Here's my course settings, giving me my grading options, my exams, my weights, objectives, grading scales. So there's a lot of options within that. You also can customize your landing page. So I had put in Welcome to High School Civics and Government. You can see you have different text editing features. You can add a link. You can actually, if you would like, you can draw something for your students to see. You can insert images, YouTube videos. You can use embed code. For your math people, you can actually insert symbols in a table, so you can customize that landing page. Speaking of customizing the landing page, if I go over here and hit this down arrow, when I choose theme, I can change. I don't have a lot of options, but I can change the color of the background. So if I go ahead with blue, now everything is going to be blue. So we'll go back to, since we're in Fairfield, we'll go back to red. Also in here, you can edit objectives, meaning you can check that you can add additional objectives with this plus arrow. You can add a new objective and description. So there is some customization to the objectives. Now this seems to me to be important, especially as you're adding a little variety of the course. Manage groupings. So if I want to add a grouping, you can see I can say how many students I want. Do I want it fixed numbers of students, targeted number, how many students in each group, and then how do I want them to generate. I guess my only disappointment is it says you can see you can do by performance, homogeneous, heterogeneous, alphabetical, round robin, random. I would have thought there would have been a drag and drop option possible to control who's in the groups, but I may be not seeing that option, but it doesn't appear to be an option that you can do that manually. Okay. So that was manage groupings and then your recycle bin. As we go across the top, you can find a specific activity. You can search for different things. And then just remember this waffle is what does this look like as an admin or administrator. If you're an administrator, what does it look like a teacher? And what does it look like in that student view? And then I did show you how to change the theme or the color. You can see there's different, some additional settings, which this is really about the course itself. I don't know that that would all be all that useful. So that is a quick tutorial on some of the icons, some of the settings, and some of the navigation panel. Thanks.